Okay, what we have today is a bit of a review on the Yakima Foldclick 3. I don't usually do this sort of thing, but just doing this one today because I couldn't find anything online about this. It's a pretty good rack, but there's one main thing which I didn't like about it, which is why I'm taking it back. But I'll put this one out there for anyone to see. So the out of the box, it comes out in an assembled unit, as it is here, ready to put onto your car. Also comes with your warranty instructions, also a kit to fit the license plate onto here if you have one of the smaller auxiliary plates. If you have one of the larger plates, then these parts here pop out and are holders with these slots here. Also out of the box is the 3 arms to hold on for your bikes. So we'll get started. Okay, so as you can see here, folded up, the Foldclick 3 is actually in a pretty tidy unit. It stands on its own and it's pretty compact. So if you do have it off the car, then it is fairly easy to store somewhere in the garage or the shed. For assembly, all you do is you pick up, place onto your tow ball, holding the bar and pushing down on the main part until you hear a click. And if you can't see it, that part in there's a viewing window, has now changed to green. If that's lifted up, then it is red. You need to make sure that's green if it's down. Also have here is the locking mechanism with the key, which works for all the locking arms as well as locking your rack to the bike. So once out, can undo the racks, place them out. The light bar, you see there's a bit of a push rod here, push that down, fold out, same again on the other side. And here clicks are going into place. So what you can do for all racks, for getting ready to load the bike, is to undo the straps, and you can tilt them down to place them out of the way. What you have got here, which is a pretty handy thing, is a few magnets on the back side of the pin for the flat pin adapter, which just attaches to the rack for easy storage. Plug her in and away you go. And what we have for the locking arms, to place them onto the unit, undo the knob to release the jaws, hold onto the arm itself and push onto the knob. You can see it opens up the smaller end there, which simply just goes onto the bar and hangs freely. That comes in handy later on for the longer bar, if you got a bike on, to put through the frame and secure on, for ease of putting your second bike on. Alright, so placing the bikes on, you do lift into place, grab the locking arm, make sure it is wide enough, attach to the frame and secure. What I do first up is just get it on there a little bit and then go for the straps on the wheels. Give it a bit of a push to secure both those, and then ensure that's tight. What you can then do is lock, and you know it's lock if it spins freely. Now ideally what I'd have, and I'll talk about it more later, is I'd like to have the straps a bit further out. What it does do in here though, for my 29er here, is actually security, and if on the inside position, it actually pulls it in tighter. So I'm comfortable with that, the straps in those positions, but I'll talk about having them out, or the desire to have them a bit further out, a bit later on in the video. Chuck it up there, and then like I said earlier, you have the longer arm reach through the frame of the first bike, pushing on that, and secure. And then simply just adjust as you need to secure the bike in place. As you can see through there, have clearance on my first bike, and there's even enough space to I can move it on the other side, but just for this I'll keep it into that position. Tighten up, can lock that one too, and then the strap's in place. Alright, so what we've got there is the two bikes on the rack. We've got enough clearance to don't have any contact with either the frame or between the bikes, so I like this function of the rack. I can also get the little fella's 20-inch bike on there, but for this demonstration I won't chuck it on. What you do have for that third bike is another one of these arms, which attaches to, in the first instance, the second bike, and then onto the frame of the third. So this one's a bit different. It doesn't go through to the rack. You connect the two bikes together, but can fit a third bike on there. I did it when I first opened this up, and it actually works pretty good. Again, it's enough clearance and it fits really good. What you do have, and what I really like about these style of racks, is the ability to tilt. So we're putting your foot on the lever at the bottom here, you push that down and tilt the bikes forward. Bikes hang there, no dramas, with easy access to the boot. And the reverse, make sure you hear that click and it's good to go. Okay, so for removing the bikes, it's just the opposite of putting them on. Undo the straps, take off undo the locking arm, take the bikes off, and you can either leave the locking arm hanging, or as I've done now, take it off. So like I said earlier, there's one reason why I don't like this rack. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a really good rack for family stuff. You can fit mine, my wife's, and my son's bike all on this rack with no contact, take it out easy. But with my fat bike, I don't have the flexibility to take that out onto the trails when I want to. Now, the main reason is, so it does say in the description for this product that the maximum tyre width is 4 inches. Now my fatty is 26x4, and if the wheelbase was such where it fit between where these positions are now, then there's enough purchase on the straps to have it secure on the rack. But when I purchased this rack, I was led to believe you could move it out. Now there's positions out here, if you can see that there's a hard plastic little knob with some little clips in there keeping it in there. What I've done is removed it off this side, in the thought that I could actually move the strap out. Now, firstly, the position there is a much larger hole than just it is for the bolt in the normal position. So that's one thing which I don't think it would fit in there even with a decent washer. But the biggest problem is this plastic there. You can see if you can see my finger poking through, there's a hard plastic bit there which doesn't allow you to get the nut onto the little bolt to actually secure the strap in place. So if Yakima were to make this perfect, it'd either come up with a solution to be able to move the straps out as you need to, and that'll give you the flexibility to say have one on the inner spot, one on the outer, or have them both outer if you have a large wheelbase bike, or produce some other straps that are longer. So it gives you the ability to, from this inside position, say with the fat bike, have enough purchase on the with the ratchet system to keep the bike securely in place. To then pack it up, what I do is do the straps up and fold the bases within each other and secure to keep them in there nice and tight. Do that for all three. That keeps them in tight. The lights themselves, push down and swing back until you hear the click. Taking the plug out, and as I said earlier in the video, with the magnet on there, simply just attaches to the frame of the rack itself. Now for removing it, making sure that the key is in the unlock position, grabbing onto the foot pedal you use to tilt the rack down, pulling up, holding onto the bar itself, folds back up, simply lift off. There you have it, the Yakima Foldclick 3.